Barbara Patterson.
Good evening. I want to start by thanking our Elk Grove Police Department and our LEOs for their service and sacrifice on this Law Enforcement Day. My family and I appreciate all of you for your hard work and your sacrifice. I am here to address the hospital that's being built in my quiet neighborhood of Stonelake. I oppose this hospital being built in my backyard. I moved here from the city of Richmond in the Bay Area and chose to live in the quiet neighborhood of Stonelake since 2001 because it was a family-friendly area. It had a great elementary school for any future children I was going to have and now have, and that it was near a reserve so that nothing was supposedly going to be built by our neighborhood. When I heard about this hospital being built literally right down the street, I was angry because it was very sneaky how its own residents of Elk Grove or our own Stonelake community had no idea this hospital was being considered. There was nothing mentioned during Mayor Lee's campaign about a hospital being built in the Stonelake area until he was confirmed mayor. I work in downtown and seen what having a hospital in a residential area can do. We, the employees, have emails about being good neighbors because people go out to smoke and leave their cigarette butts or garbage in their properties. It's not just the employees, but it's also patients. The traffic flow is high and people speed right through the neighborhoods. I've seen it. Also, the parking. People park in all of the areas of the neighborhoods around the UC Davis area. I am also saddened that after so many years, we finally have amazing restaurants and businesses in that area, such as the Dreaming Dog Brewery, the Stonelake Nails Shop, Miyabi, the India Kitchen, the High Tea. I am saddened that these hard-working owners are going to lose out on their businesses that they worked so hard on investing here in Elk Grove and making it prosper to be demolished for this hospital. I am worried about all of these issues that will come about if this goes through. For the first time in 18 years, I am actually itching to move if this hospital will be built. I want to have property that have the same quiet, family-friendly atmosphere that my beloved Stonelake community possesses. It sickens me that I live in a city where something this important was not presented to the very people they represent. It is very scheming of politicians who represent us to keep us in the dark. So shame on you.
Our next speaker is Barbara Patterson.
I'm here, as you can see, to let this council know that as a homeowner in Elk Grove, I am adamantly against putting a hospital on West Heron. If the mayor of this city really had our best interests at heart, he would be steering these types of businesses to the eyesore area of the abandoned building skeletons at 99 and Grant Line. This monstrosity of a building would be less offensive there. There are other vacant lots available with better access that should be considered, ones that won't ruin property values and disrupt so many lives. Whoever envisioned that proposed building for the Stonelake West Laguna region had obviously never visited our communities, or as I suspect, just doesn't care about what is better or best for Elk Grove property values. They are only thinking about their own bottom line and or campaign contributions. And as Dr. Chung doesn't even have the respect for us to stay and listen to what we have to say, it speaks volumes to how much he wants to work with our community. There are 2 other hospitals that I understand are being built in the Elk Grove area. We don't need this hospital. I find it interesting that this proposition was never made public until after the contributions were made to the mayor's candidacy and completed election. The owners of the hospital are saying that they hope to break ground this year. It is obvious to everyone here that the process is much further along than we have been made aware of. Seems very underhanded and sneaky, but more importantly, it is a severe adverse effect that a hospital there will have on the residents and safety of the people. We currently have minimal policing in our area because it is always relatively safe. That will change drastically. The cost will be great to the city. The traffic and noise will be unbearable. The idea of widening the streets in the Stonelake community is totally unacceptable. I hope that the council and the planning commission will do the right thing and not approve this project.
Our next speaker is Paul Flagstaff.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of City Council. Maybe it's good to look back on how this meeting started. Jason Berman, congratulations on your appointment as City Mayor. To quote the city manager at his first meeting as city manager, Elk Grove is an amazing city. I don't know how many cities give their citizens the opportunity to be able to voice their comments this early in the process to the city council. But it's so nice to be able to do that. And believe me, Dr. Chung did not leave out of disrespect. Instead, he asked that I remain here, take notes, and listen to our citizens, and we have.
I'm sorry, Paul. If you want to speak, sign the card. Otherwise, please allow Mr. Wagstaff to speak.
What I've noted today is Ms. Sandhu talking about helicopters, traffic, noise, and increased safety. That Ms. Robinson talking about crime rates and small businesses. Ms. Brown talking about a time frame of 2 years to be able to set up her business, Dreaming Dog, which is truly an amazing thing for them to have done at this point in their lives. Our point right now is that we believe that this early in the process, and I would again like to mention to the City Council and remind the Mayor and the City that the application to begin this process was the day before the press conference on December 20th. And now we are at the very beginning of this process, and we too would like the city to consider all of these points. We will consider it because we believe that the hospital should be done in a manner that will consider the points raised by these wonderful citizens and prevent them from being blindsided because it is so early in the process. Our plan is to have forums. We discussed that already. Again, not to do a he said, she said with Ms. Brown, but she knows there has been a point of contact. In fact, on the very day of the press conference, I met with the Browns from the university, and there has been a conversation with her attorney. I agree with that. That process is beginning, and it's getting started. We've talked to a number of the Stonelake tenants already. We have a plan in place to consider what all of their needs are. Take all of those needs into consideration, try to have them be able to stay on the property if that's available, but also work with them in trying to give them a Stonelake happy landing if that's possible. Finally, I think the most important thing to mention here is respect for the homeowners in the city in which they've chosen to live. At the same time, decreasing the distance from a hospital from 20 minutes to 5 minutes for a person undergoing a heart attack or a stroke can be a lifesaver, and it can better their lives once those lives are saved. We want to make sure that we keep that in mind as we go through this process. My gratitude to the City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wagstaff. Next speaker is Randy Becker.
Congratulations. As I privately supported you, I publicly support you today. There's going to be times that we're just not going to get along. There's going to be times that people are going to tell you things that you're not going to like, and tonight's one of them. Quite frankly, I'm a little pissed off. As all of you know, that my roots are on the east side. That's where I grew up. That's where I live. Occasionally, I've moved or traveled and gone to businesses on the west side. I watched the Dog and Pony show, and quite frankly, afterwards, all I can say is that you all were propped up and became props. There was no interaction with the citizens, not one, other than the ones invited. Yes, there has been rumors about a hospital possibly doing this or that, but this is huger than rumors. You know, there was dissent about the casino being built where it proposed site is. However, there wasn't any homes directly in and around that property. Now there's homes being built close to the proximity. I came in support of the potential of the module that was going to be built right next to homes, and I said to you then, and I say to you tonight, it is unfortunate that we have a city that was laid out by the County Board of Supervisors and the first sitting Elk Grove Council. But you guys, you council members and the mayor, have a chance not to allow a big monstrosity to end up in people's backyard. It's ridiculous. The mayor wanted a hospital in his election. I get that we need a hospital on the I-5 corridor. There isn't one from North Stockton to Sacramento. I understand the importance of it. I really do. But it does not need to be built where the proposed site is. And for somebody to get up here as a PR, that's bull. That's absolutely ridiculous and disrespectful to the citizens of Elk Grove. I don't know these people. I've been in their establishments once or twice. This is going to be a fight, and you better figure out if you want to be part of it and what side of history you want to be on. Because by God, the citizens own those seats. And you need to figure out if you want to continue.
Thank you, Mr. Becker. Seeing that there are no additional speakers signed up to speak, I want to close public comment and move to the next item.